Well, here's a game that I know you guys have all played. It's called Dungeons and Dragons. What do you say we dive into a little D&D? Okay, so Saltmarsh, right? It was a previously inconsequential little backwater settlement on the edge of the Keeland Empire. And after just a few short weeks of you spending time in the town of Saltmarsh, you and your companions have essentially altered the course of history for its inhabitants and those who would seek to influence its future. In doing so, you guys have set yourselves on a course to which only fate may guide you. You've gained a lot of notoriety amongst the townfolk at this point. The town council is in your favor, even the small contingent of Keeland's naval fleet that's been deployed to the area. Your legend has spread like wildfire amongst the people of Saltmarsh. Tales of Rhunar Dag single-handedly killing the dread pirate Charlotte Volchek and the crew of the Black Trident after recovering a valuable artifact from a derelict ship adrift in the Azure Sea. How the Dag Gang teamed up with the Red Crows to retake Abbey Isle from demon-worshipping cultists. People say that the one with the shimmering blue eyes even helped to raise Dag and his men from the dead by brokering some sort of a deal with the denizens of Avernus.
That's possible.
That tracks.
Yet others describe how Rhunar defeated Saltmarsh's reigning Steels champion, Dox, in an epic battle at the Point of Rocks. How his dwarf companion Dick punched his way out of a burning building and saved a high-ranking naval officer from being tortured by Krebs Shanker and his scoundrels. There's talk of how the Dead Gang rounded up a band of smugglers plaguing the dwarven mine and dispelled the ghosts haunting the old house before overtaking pirate captain Sigurd Snake Eyes and commandeering his ship. How Dag and his men infiltrated the Sawajan fortress and broke its defenses for the naval marines, resulting in a momentous win for Keeland and the utter defeat of the savage fish people. How the one from Gradzul exposed a deep state conspiracy by a small group of ne'er-do-wells led by Scaran Wavechaser, who murdered Aubric Drowling in order to wrest control of the Westwind Trading Company. Throughout town, people greet you and shake your hands. Most of the townfolk look upon you with admiration, pride, and respect, with a hint of fear and even maybe a little envy. Some gossip floats through the taverns, deals with the devil, speculation on the whereabouts of the missing bard, the massive body count left in your wake. But for the most part, you are relieved and satisfied with your successes against the conspirators, mostly. Scaran's dying words weigh heavily on your mind, because despite all the successes and accomplishments in Saltmarsh, it appears as though you've earned the attention of an organization referred to only as the Brotherhood. Indeed, it would seem as though you've positioned yourselves as a significant thorn in the side of this cabal. Having cut down their leadership here in Saltmarsh, you get the sense that this is not the last time that you'll come into conflict with its agents. The eye, as it were, is upon you. Nevertheless, you've won the day here in Saltmarsh, and no mention of impending doom passes the lips of the townfolk, at least today. The mood is jovial, optimistic. Your valiant achievements and the tales that surround them serve as a reputation that shall always precede you on the streets of this small backwater town. As we bring ourselves back into the Saltmarsh, you guys have had a week of downtime to take care of business, work on improving your skills and abilities, essentially leveling up in the parlance of Dungeons and Dragons. So what I'd like to do is just go through one by one and have you kind of describe a little bit about how you use this week of downtime and how it relates to the leveling up process and any business that you would have had time to take care of during that week. Who wants to go first?
Theo, he's not super comfortable with all the attention and accidentally turning his packed weapon into a greatsword because he didn't have his shield in the last conflict led him to realize there's more to both the weapon and the incantations and strange writings on it. So he spent most of the time that's useful in and out of the way places fine-tuning and reworking his sorcery as he comes on with new principles. I believe we had talked about finding a slightly more secluded area near town. The island in the bay actually looked like an excellent candidate for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Standing Stone Island.
I was going to ask you, I don't know much about the island myself.
Well, there are tales of this island. Tales of early settlers to the region. Some sort of a human tribe that captured a siren and took that siren to this island, lashing her to these stones and sacrificing her to the sea, to Procan. Since then, this area, they say, has been blessed with an abundant harvest of fish, consistently taken from the sea to feed not only the inhabitants of Saltmarsh, but this is a regional fish production area, and many of the townsfolk, especially the old-timers, if you bop around down by the docks and the fisherman wharf, they'll tell you a little bit about their superstitions regarding the siren. They even say that if you listen closely, you can hear her crying out in the night. So that's what you learn about this island. Would you like to visit it?
Theo will definitely go visit at that point. Just to see, and also because it's probably the best place to practice strange sorcery.
Sure. So you're able to pretty easily rent a small rowboat, or potentially use the one on the deck of the Good Buddy. But you make your way out to the Standing Stones on a beautiful, bluebird sky day. You see a couple people around the water's edge that are out on this island as well. Most of them fishing, but there's not many people out here. And as you head out and you draw your packed weapon, and you look at your weapon, you notice that the ruins that line this greatsword of yours, it almost seems like there's some new runes that maybe you didn't quite recognize from before. Or maybe it's just that they have a different sort of glow to them. And as you examine them, you hear a voice. I continue to be impressed with your will to survive, Theo.
Theo, still not used this pops up. Hello, yes, you. Hello.
You've done well for this community and proven yourself to be a noble warrior. I feel good about you wielding me. How do you feel?
I enjoy the work. I'm not necessarily as much of a big fan of the people noticing me doing the work. I mean, the fish's daughters are nice, but other than that, if I wanted to be famous, I'd have gone into a different line of work.
Well, it's hard to go unnoticed, especially in a town like this. I imagine that's not something that you intend to do for long. Do you have plans for the future? A direction?
I think sooner or later we will be heading south to, the place called Narisben, looking for Tamoa-chan. Do you know a Tamoa-chan? Have you ever been to Tamoa-chan?
I have not heard of this place, but I feel a strange sense of excitement. As long as the goal, at least for the short term, is to fight for good and vanquish those who would do evil, you have my support.
Well, the good news there is it appears that something called the Brotherhood, which as far as we can tell is really evil, is trying to get there and look into things too, and we are going to be trying to beat them there and make sure they don't do anything, so I would say we are in line.
Tell me, you're here on this island. What do you hope to accomplish? I may be able to help you.
Just trying to, find a nice quiet place to study the new writings here, and I had some thoughts about the theory that they're applied for, and Theo for a second just descends into weird arcane theory talk that I'm not going to replicate here for everyone's sanity.
Sure.
But he definitely just, rattles off bits of, arcane theory, and just like that.
Roll an Arcana check for me.
Boo!
Oh, man.
You have some studying to do, indeed. You're on the right path, though. I will say this. I see that you've honed your menacing wrath of the Blade Bearer. It's quite a powerful ability. There are more secrets that I can show you.
Normally, whenever someone says I have secrets to tell you, I get a little worried, but I'm going to trust you because I'm in this far already. If you turn out to secretly be actually someone, from like the 9th level of hell, I'm fucked anyway. So please, let us go forward.
All right. You're going to have to trust me. But you don't have a whole lot of a choice. See that fisherman there? And the blade kind of like just moves in a direction. About 30 feet away on the shoreline, you see a middle-aged fisherman all by himself, casting and kind of just sitting there fishing.
Theo sees it and then immediately uses one free hand to kind of point the blade out. Don't point it at people like that. They think it is threatening.
There, the fisherman. Enact my wrath, and I will show you something very useful. I assure you that this man will not be harmed by me.
Okay, well then I will not harm him too. And I'm going to have to buy him a lot of beer later. Okay. Theo just points finger, kind of makes the clawing gesture and does the Wrath of the Blade Bearer on this poor fisherman.
And from the distance, you can you see that there is this black energy, this bluish, dark blue energy that overtakes him a little bit, and he kind of looks around. He doesn't seem to look panicked, but he's not sure what's happening. And then you hear the voice, "Now, Theo, will yourself to his side. You'll scare him, but try not to hurt the poor fellow."
I'm not going to hurt you, poor man. I'm just going to... Hold on, let me... Pop!
You suddenly disappear from where you're standing and reappear right next to this guy. And he's like, "Whoa, what the fuck?
Hello, hi, very sorry. I'm just out here practicing.
Don't sneak up on people like that."
I know I'm terrible at it. I am just so quiet. But can I offer you a wineskin?
Oh, yeah. That'd be great.
There you go, buddy. Sorry about that. You know what? You keep that.
No problem.
Just wander back up on the island.
You watch as he reels in his line and kind of gathers his stuff and starts walking in a different direction from you.
Okay. Holy shit, that was awesome.
Yes. I imagine that will be useful to you.
I mean, the ability to just teleport plays. I mean, that's just cool.
Well, listen, I've gifted you with a similar ability to move through space at the blink of an eye, but it's the one you've been using is so loud and obtrusive. How would you like to, I don't know, expand the range of movement and have the ability to move through space at the blink of an eye without announcing it to your enemies, huh?
I mean, that would be very handy.
You entered this island on the far end, probably 400, maybe 500 feet away. Why don't you will yourself to that location?
That sounds like just willing myself to have a fish in my hand.
Give it a go.
Okay. If you say so, you're the intelligent sword from beyond time and space. And I think Theo's going to try it, but because he mentioned the fish, he's going to just completely shoot off to one side and land in the bay near the point he was shooting for, where there's a bunch of fish.
Okay, in the water?
Well, I think probably 10 feet above the water and then fall into the water.
Okay.
It works, mostly.
You're going to have to practice a bit to get the hang of it, for sure.
Yeah, that's yes, I agree, because that was, no. It's cold, and just starts swimming in. Okay. So that was amazing. Do you normally tutor people in the magical arts? Is that kind of what you do?
Well, Theo, I am your patron. We are bonded together for better or for worse. I have made a pledge to help you in your endeavors, and you have sworn an oath to help me in mine.
But you're not like an active deity of some. You're not secretly like Heronius in disguise or something, right?
Not to my knowledge, but I suppose a god of that power could certainly fool himself into believing that he wasn't who he was. I've never thought of that before.
That is somehow a scarier answer than when I said it out loud. I regret that.
Well, there are other powers and abilities that I will show you in time. I've got one more for you before we part for the moment.
This isn't one where I have to bend over and touch my toes, is it?
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
Good, you don't want to be.
Over the course of the next, I don't know, hour or so, the Kalistani tutors you in the use of an ability that essentially creates a sphere of bluish radiant energy that has not only damage capabilities to individuals that are within or move through the sphere, but also drains their life force, causing them exhaustion. Kalistani gives you some pointers on how to use it, essentially, and then just kind of finishes by saying, "Now, whatever your path, go forth, test your powers, bring light to darkness, seek vengeance on our foes." Do you understand?
I do.
And with that, the glow of the sword, it still continues to glow in your hands, but the glow is just a little bit more subdued than it was.
Well, quite all right. Theo looks around on the island. He doesn't see anyone watching. Whether or not that's true is entirely up to the comedy. And then just, you see him start doing this little, I'm a paladin, I'm a paladin, I'm a paladin dance. Just kind of singing to himself for a second. And then, then he'll get back to practicing, essentially.
The electric slide. Are you doing the electric slide?
He probably is. He does not have any rhythm.
Nice. Oh, I love it. So you've gained a couple of new abilities. There's some other things that you wanted to do while you were on your downtime. That would have taken, like an afternoon or a day.
True, and he's definitely going to go out like every day for the week and practice that every day, just to get it under his belt. The other thing is he would like to go to the Temple of Procan and talk to the priest there.
Yeah, you head up the hill to the temple, and it's as always, the door is open, and you can walk right into the corridor that leads to this open air courtyard. There are a variety of different novices tending the gardens. There's a large fountain in the middle. Looking a little out of place, one of the priests comes to you and says, "Ah, Master Theo, welcome. How may I help you?"
No, one name is just Theo. I don't have a title. It's okay. Two, I have a problem that I think I may need to talk to a priest about.
Oh. Well, yes. I would be happy to talk with you. Please, let's walk.
Yeah, of course.
He guides you through some of the hallways, out a back door into a sort of a small orchard behind the temple. And there are a couple of benches there. And he sits at a bench. Tell me, what's troubling you?
It's thankfully a more material issue. I'm not actually suffering from an immediate spiritual malaise, despite anything you may have heard. But I have a stone I cannot get rid of.
A stone that you cannot get rid of? What do you mean by this?
Here, let me show you. He pulls out the luck stone and goes, "Here, please take this."
Okay. He takes
Put it in your pocket.
Okay.
And then Theo reaches into his bag and pulls the stone back out.
Wait a minute. And the priest reaches into his vestments to try to fish out the stone. He's like, clever.
The problem is I can't get rid of it. Here. And he tosses it like out through the window.
Uh-huh.
Reaches in, pulls it back out. It won't go away. It is magical in nature. It can make you better at some things, then it immediately makes you worse at it. And that part passes some, but yeah, it's I don't know how to get rid of it.
It seems as though this is potentially some sort of a curse that's been put on this item and has been transferred to you. I've heard of such things. There are magics that can help to remove curses of this type.
Would you know anyone to speak to locally about that?
If you could wait here for just a moment, it just so happens that there is a cleric visiting that might be able to help you.
That sounds wonderful. His name's not Thaddeus, is it?
No,
Oh,
it's
thank
a
God.
woman.
Oh, good. As long as it's not my brother, we're okay.
What?
Very well. He leaves you sitting there on the bench on the edge of this small orchard, overlooking the Saltmarsh Cemetery, where you recall a few things that may or may not make you a little uneasy now that you recognize and realize where you're sitting.
Oh, yeah. Theo had kind of braced for that, and it was still kind of a...
The priest returns, and behind him is this woman. He says, Theo, I'd like to introduce you to Whimsy. Whimsy is a cleric that is visiting, has been to Saltmarsh before, but, and she says, that's fine, you don't need to make a big thing of it. Yes,
Theo
I'm
will
here.
just stand up and, bow just a little bit.
Oh,
Like,
that's unnecessary. That's unnecessary. Please, you've been cursed, it sounds like.
Yes, apparently. I have a stone that will not go away.
Could you produce the stone for me? Hold it out in your hands.
Theo does as asked.
She comes over and she puts her hands underneath you, and at this point you see that she's a rather attractive blonde woman who is adorned in a pretty nice looking chainmail. She has a mace dangling at her side. She kind of looks you in the eyes and says, do you wish to be free of this curse?
Yes, I do.
With all your heart and all your mind.
As much of it as I have currently gotten access to, yes.
That'll have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You feel this energy start to emanate from her hands that are underneath yours. It's warm, and you watch the stone in your palms, and you see it flash bright light. Almost you can't look at it. You have to turn away, and then you look back, and it's just a stone in your hand again. And she looks at you and says, "Be rid of this stone. Ensure that no one else finds it and falls on hard luck. I imagine that you'd be more than happy to make a donation to the temple as you exit, and I wish you the best of luck. Be wary. There are many curses about." And she sort of gives you a nice bow, and she walks off as if she has business to attend to.
Theo bows as well and watches her go, and just is the original priest he talked to is still there, right?
Yep, he's there.
He just kind of leans to one side and goes, "Who is that again?"
I'm not 100% sure. She's been through once or twice in the past couple of months to check in, she says. She stays for a night or two and then leaves.
Do you think that means she's single? Anyway, thank you immensely. Where do I make a donation?
I can handle that for you. Right this way. And he guides you back through the door into the courtyard and over to a desk where he sits down, and he pulls out a ledger and he opens it up and he writes down. He takes your name and has you spell it out. And then and how much would Master Theo be donating today to the temple?
Well, hold on. And he starts digging in the pouch and pulls out just like a couple of random things, like pulls out a book. No, that's not it. That's my pipe weed. And he pulls out like the golden apple that they found on the alchemist's desk in the house and puts that down. And wasn't there like the way I have it written down, there's like 2 or 3 other golden like things converted to gold that had been on the desk there.
An apple worth 5 gold, a rose worth 5 gold, a set of 5 small discs, each worth 5 gold.
Well, he's going to put those all down, just to kind of get them out.
My. Oh, and there was a human skull as well. That was also gold.
He's gonna let that stay.
Yeah.
But he does pull out the scroll of blessing, and he goes, "I cannot use this. Perhaps someone in your church can."
Yes, I believe we can put this to good use. Thank you. This is very generous, and this will go a long way to helping us expand our efforts here in Saltmarsh.
That is just wonderful to hear because I'm a sailor and I need all the blessings I can from Procan, or at least for him not to decide to smite me in a storm. I'll take either.
I will do my best to put in a good word as well. Thank you, sir.
You are a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you so much. And Theo takes his leave.
All right. You have been unburdened of your curse. Anything else that you wanted to do?
Other than toss that luckstone out into the middle of the bay at some point during the week, that's it.
Okay. All right. That's great. Let's see who wants to go next.
I guess I could go next if you want. Rhunar could go.
Sure. What did you want to do for your downtime?
Well, leveling up, I got this new ability, so I figured I'd go and see Will and Tom again.
Yeah, you head up to their estate, their small estate up on the hill above Saltmarsh. As you arrive, you see Will seems to be engaged instructing a group of young men in what appears, as you get closer, it appears to be some sort of strange form of Greyhawkian CrossFit.
And they can't stop talking about it.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
I want to go there.
As you approach, Tom sees you coming, and he comes out from the house and says, Rhunar, welcome. Welcome back.
How are you doing?
Doing great. I've heard that things have gone well for you in the last few days. The Sawajin battle, exposing the murder and all that. Exposing the murder and all that.
Yeah.
Good job, man.
Things are going our way right now.
You know, the most important question I have for you is,
the most important
question
We did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, things are going your way.
The food's okay. It's not amazing, but, he's getting used to it.
As long as the crew is happy.
Yeah.
Always remember, a happy crew is the most important thing that you can influence as the captain.
Yeah, that's good advice. I'll have to make sure I follow that.
Are you here to train?
Yeah, I was hoping that I could train for a little bit.
Well, go on over. I'm sure we'll have something ready for you. It's good to see you. Before you leave, I've got something for you. Don't leave without reminding me.
Okay, will do.
All right.
Thank you.
You head over to Will, and he gives you a nod as he's in the middle of giving some instructions to the guys, and he gets them off doing some sort of box jump. He comes over to you and gives you a handshake. Well, here to do a little training?
Yeah, I figured there's, while we have a little time here in town, that last move that you taught me was pretty useful. I gotta say.
I was starting to think that maybe all this fame and fortune was getting to your head. You don't want to get soft. Good to see you. Good to see you. So I've got these guys here today, Townsguard training. These fellas are going to be sent out to the Dwarven Mine as a special security contingent. Sounds like things are going well at the mine too, so they're looking to up the level of security out there. Okay. Anyhow, they're good lads, and I don't think they'll mind at all. And you can tell that the guys are sort of taking notice of you, being the famous hero of Saltmarsh.
I'm sure I recognize a couple of them too, right?
You might have seen them around, potentially.
From the Dralian estate, or going to see Eleander?
If anywhere, it would have been at the Hool Watch Tower.
Right.
Most likely. Yep. They seem to be pretty stoked that you're there. There's a bunch of exercises that they're working on, all kinds of jumping, running, some climbing skills, some stealth-based stuff. You get involved with them. You're working on strength training as well as dexterity training and just flexibility and endurance. And it seems to be going pretty well. And then, I don't know, about an hour or so into the session, Will stops everybody and says, all right, well, what do you say we get into a little friendly competition? Rhunar, care to show these boys how it's done?
Yes.
Sure.
Saltmarsh CrossFit Games.
All right, so
let's do it.
All right, great. He brings all you guys around, and he tells you about this obstacle course that he has set up. He says it's a combination of strength training, feats of agility, a little bit of stealth thrown in there. Basically putting into practice what we've been working on the last couple of days, fellas. Rhunar here is quite an accomplished athlete. Some might say remarkable. And he's gonna show us how it's done. So he walks you over to like the starting line, and he says, "All right, Rhunar, here's the deal." And he points out. He says, "See that tree stump right there? We got a deadlift carry the tree stump 200 yards over to that 20-foot wall. You got to scale the wall, drop down on the opposite side." And then he says, "That area right there with the tall grasses and the rocks, you got to run across that without getting plucked off by me. I'm going to be shooting these at you." And he shows you these practice arrows with almost like a beanbag sort of end on them, like a blunt
Like
end.
weighted so they work. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And he says, "I'm going to be firing these at you, and you're going to have to dodge these things and or try to hide from my aim. Once you get over to that point over there by the big rock, see those tree trunks? There's 5 of them right there. And you look over, and there's 5 tree trunks that are pounded into the ground and then cut flat on top. And they're spaced roughly 5 feet apart." He says, "You start on that first trunk right there, and you got to jump across to get to the last one. And then when you're done with that, these boys on the end here, as you come back, are going to be swinging these pendulums at you as you balance across this balance beam."
All right.
So what do you say? Let's give it a try.
Okay.
So he says, "All right, you ready?"
Yeah, ready as I'll ever be.
All right. On your marks, get set, go. And you walk over and you grab this super heavy tree stump and you start lifting it and carrying it, kind of like duck walking with it. Roll a strength check for me.
Okay. Oop, I had advantage on. Sorry.
That's right. So we'll go with the 4. So you kind of stumble and drop it.
Well, is that +2 since it's just straight strength check?
It's a straight strength check, correct. You rolled a
Plus
natural 1.
Oh, I rolled
back.
a 1.
Yep. You
my
drop
back.
it. You drop it and you pick it back up and continue carrying it. Go ahead and roll another strength check for me.
All right. Come on. Stupid.
The guys are like, "Come on, Rhunar, you got this." Better.
+2. 10.
You're slow. It's hard. This thing's really heavy. I mean, this is no joke. It slips out of your hands again, and you drop it, but you pick it back up, eventually making it over to the wall 200 yards away. And now you've got this wall in front of you that you got to climb up. So you're going to roll an athletics check for me. Come on, Rhunar, go, go, go! Yeah, you scale up really fast and make it over the top and drop down on the other side. And then you've got the tall grass to make it across. And you see the tree stumps in the distance that you got to run towards. And there's a couple of rocks, knee-high grasses. And you can try to run, you can try to dodge, you can try to stealth across, whatever you think you want to do. What do you want to do?
Is this the point at which I'm going to get shot at?
Yep, he's going to start shooting those arrows at you.
Okay, so I'll try to stealth through here.
Okay. I think it's already incorporated into your...
Oh, natural 20.
Yeah, that works.
Matter.
You kind of get down and belly crawl a little bit, and then you do like a forward roll and get down behind a rock, and you can just hear these... He's firing these arrows at you, but he doesn't really know where you are. Eventually, you make it over to the tree trunks, no problem. There are 5 tree trunks pounded into the ground, cut flat on the top, spaced 5 feet apart. You start on the first trunk. You can use jump in here if you wanted.
Sure. I guess, what would I roll for that, though?
You could roll either an athletics or an acrobatics.
Okay, I'll go acrobatics.
How far are you going to jump?
I'm sorry, like, how far did you say they were?
They're spaced 5 feet apart.
Okay. So, I'll just jump, like, how much from one end to the other?
20 feet total.
Okay, I'll just jump the whole thing.
All right.
There
Yeah,
we go.
you run up, you jump up out of the grasses, run to the first trunk, take a leap, pushing off from it, and you're able to clear all of them. and you just hear this, whoa! Everybody's like, fuck yeah!
Yeah.
And you land, kind of like the 3-point landing. And then it's the home stretch here along the balance beam. So there's a series of pendulums that swing that the students are pushing back and forth across this balance beam that you have to balance across. And it usually takes about 4, essentially the equivalent of 4 rounds to cross this beam. You can cross it in 2 if you dash.
Okay, I'll try it. I'll try a dash.
Okay, I'm gonna roll to hit you with these things.
Okay.
The first one, you dip out of the way and get past it. The second one, you're able to dodge as it swings past you. There's 4 of them total. Mm-hmm. Your armor class is 19, I think, isn't it? The
19,
third one misses you. And the 4th one misses you. You just run right across, no problem, and get to the end. And guys are giving you high fives, and Will comes over and pats you on the back. He's like, yeah, you still got it. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Oh,
You just got to work a little bit on your lifting. That's it.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll do.
Do you even lift, bro?
No, it's feeling a little off this morning, I guess. I don't know.
Some of the other guys get ready to take their turn, and a couple of the guys come up and are asking you a little bit about the Sawajin battle, trying to get some juicy stories from you. And you spend, the better part of the afternoon with the boys and Will. And before you leave, Tom comes out, and he's like, how'd everything go?
Pretty good. Picked up some new tips. It was useful, as usual.
Will's pretty proud of that damn obstacle course. He's been spending a lot of time on it. Anyhow, here you go. I got something for you. And he reaches down and pulls out 2 jars of pickled cabbage.
Ooh.
Just pickled some cabbage straight out of the garden not too long ago. Thought you could do with a little extra something for the ship, or keep it for yourself, whatever you decide.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
Well, what do you have planned now that you've done so much here? I mean, I can't imagine it's easy to walk around town without being mobbed by people.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little tiring.
You guys
I don't
planning
know.
on leaving?
Yeah, we're thinking about setting sail. Maybe, trying to sell some of this cargo we have. Maybe up the coast a little bit. Maybe head south. I don't know. You hear anything good about any of these ports around here?
Not recently. It's been a while since I've been on the water.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been to Seaton before, haven't you? Seaton,
Yeah,
it's
not
just
for a while, but
military town.
yeah.
I don't know, south. I mean, that's the whole of the Sea Prince's territory. You gonna go get into trouble down there, huh?
Well, not too soon. We got some provisioning to do first.
Sure.
But we're not ruling it out.
Well, I'm sure you can handle yourself. It'll be just like old times. Man, we saw some shit, didn't we? Well, look, don't be a stranger. Make sure that if you do stick around, or next time you're in town, you come up and see us.
Will do.
All right, Rhunar, you take care.
All right, thank you. You guys have a good one.
So you head back down into town. Is there some other things that you want to accomplish?
I guess I'll head back to the boat. I kind of had the idea that I'd like to train up the crew.
Okay.
The use of crossbows, because just swinging at people with scimitars might not do it when we're on the water. So if I could do something like that, I guess.
Yeah,
while
you
we're
can.
Hanging out.
How much time do you want to spend training these guys?
Maybe just like a day or two, and then they can kind of start doing it on their own.
Okay, so you're just going to kind of get them started, and
Or
then
like an afternoon, and then they can start kind of
sure
figuring it out.
All right, yeah, you can certainly do that. You gather up some light crossbows and do a bit of a seminar for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna train up like 2 of them really well. I don't know if it would be practical to have the whole crew do it right away.
It's up to you. You're the captain.
I
I mean, they're essentially just working on the ship and waiting for orders.
All right, so I'm gonna grab 2 of them.
Which
And
two?
then, who is our that fucking guy? Because he has some battle experience now.
Oh, the other fucking guy, you mean?
Yeah, the other fucking guy.
The other fucking guy. Oh, okay.
Yep.
And I don't know. How about Fritz? Just because he knows how to talk to him.
Okay.
And we'll just take some time. I don't know. Can we do it on the deck, or do we have to go somewhere?
Yeah, you could set up some targets on the deck if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Just work on
Well,
short distance shots.
Yeah, because it's mainly intended for if we get raided while we're on the water, or a boat that's tied up alongside of us.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So you take these guys aside. You set up some targets. You train. Basically describe to them how the light crossbow works. You give them a seminar on this thing to get them sort of up to speed, and then you get them shooting. So let's do this. Roll an insight check,
Okay.
a dexterity check, just a straight dex check, and a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
And make sure you add 2 to that sleight of hand, since for some reason it's not adding your remarkable athlete stuff. Okay.
And you said straight dex?
Straight dex, and then a sleight of hand. Nice. Okay. So yeah, you're able to do a really good job of explaining to these guys how the mechanism works, but also the technique for shooting, and using your insight skills, you're able to tailor the lesson to each of them to give them, to kind of play to their strengths as individuals and their levels of intelligence and experience. The dexterity that you use to demonstrate and to describe body positioning and aiming and all that kind of stuff is really helpful. And then with the sleight of hand roll, you're able to sort of help adjust them as they're shooting and give them pointers on how to hold it a little bit better and that sort of thing. And by the end of the first day, they're feeling pretty good. They're hitting the targets. It'll take a couple of days, but by the end of the week, by the end of the downtime, they'll both be proficient in light crossbow.
Okay. And then I'm just going to let them know that they're now the kind of instructors for the crew. And so going forward, I want them to start teaching a rotating couple of guys, if that's possible. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Captain, I can certainly try. I'm not much of an instructor, but I'll do my best.
Yeah, and keep practicing.
Will do.
All right.
All right, Rhunar, anything else that you wanted to accomplish during the week?
I'd like to just send out somebody to give us to the various markets around town to get quotes on how much they'd pay for our cargo, the silk
And
and
the wine?
Yeah. Just so I have an idea of how much they'd be willing to pay. Just have someone go around, maybe Fritz. I'll send Fritz out, and he'll just kind of shop around, see what people are offering.
Okay. Let's see.
But not making any guarantees, any sales yet.
Yeah, roll a persuasion check for me just to sort of gauge how this goes. Nice. Yeah, you're able to find buyers for some of the wine.
Okay.
There is a tailor in town that is willing to buy a couple rolls of silk, but certainly not all 20 some odd rolls that you have. They might be willing to buy, 3 or 4 rolls from you.
Okay.
So you've got some buyers for some of it, but this is a pretty small town.
Right.
And the empty net, snapping line, and the wicker goat are all willing to buy a couple casks.
Okay.
So you might be able to get rid of approximately 15. Can't remember how many you had, but they'd be willing to buy 15.
I have 27.
Okay. So yeah, they'd buy 15 of them from you
Okay.
at a fair price.
Okay. I'm only saying that, I just want to get kind of quotes just because I want to make sure the crew is all everybody else is cool with selling some of the cargo right now, or if we should wait.
Right. Yeah,
So
that's good though.
It's
good to
I'll
know.
just wait till everybody's figured that out together.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
Byron or Irin, who wants to go next?
I can go next.
What did you want to work on during your downtime?
So you said there's 5 days of downtime, is that right?
Yeah, well, about a week, 5 to 7 days,
About a
something
week?
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bunch of things I got to get done. So
Okay.
first thing I'm gonna do, day one, waking up the next day or whatever, I'm gonna find that one fucking guy, or the other fucking guy. Sorry.
Yeah.
And whoever he's hanging out with is gonna come with us. We're gonna go drink and talk about Leo Coast.
All right, that's
I'm gonna
probably Kyle.
praise him. Okay, so it'll be the other fucking guy and Kyle. We'll
Yep.
be going out. So I'll take him to the snapping line and buy a bunch of drinks for him and sing stories to the entire bar about how the other fucking guy pretty much saved our ship. I'm just gonna like make it sound like he's a hero. Start building him up. Yeah, if anyone starts like asking his name or is wondering what's going on, I'm just gonna be like, it's that other fucking guy, man. He saved our ship, you know, he's a hero.
He just nods. He's not one for he's not like super outgoing, so he'll just kind of, he's a little uncomfortable, but he understands.
And I'm also gonna find out, like, maybe they know, maybe they don't, like, what was Leo Coast's favorite drink, and does he have like any family or anyone around the town? Or anywhere?
It's never did talk about family. Not sure. Not even sure where he was from. He always talked about how lucky he was, though. I don't know. I know that he really liked that claw wine.
Right on.
No.
I'm at the snapping line, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a barrel of claw wine.
A barrel?
Yep, and I'm gonna have
Oh.
Yep, and I'm gonna have it moved to the ship. But I'm not gonna like load it onto the, or yeah, I'll load it onto the ship, but I won't like load it into our cargo. I'll have it left on deck.
All right. Mark down 2 gold pieces.
Okay.
Oh, it's good to see a connoisseur, says the bartender as you order it up. We'll have that We'll have that shipped over to the good buddy for you.
Excellent. It's not my thing, but it's not a bad thing to have around, I guess.
All right. Make sure you write
all
down that you have a barrel of claw wine in your inventory.
Yep, I got that already. All right, to continue on. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna part ways with that other fucking guy and Kyle,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna head down towards Crabber's Cove and meet up with my guy that I left letters for Sir Kyrathi with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if I got a response. So I'll just pop up to the house. I forget the guy's name, and I can't find it in my notes.
Just as a point of history, you actually sent the letter with
Mansell Gideon.
Yeah.
So. Oh yeah, I forgot I sent it with him instead of I was gonna send it with this guy.
Yep.
Originally. Well then I'll pop into this guy anyways.
Okay. Whoa, Byron, he's on his porch smoking a pipe. It's where you've always found him. How goes it?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
That sounds like it.
Interesting
Sounds
week.
like you're doing better than all right.
I mean, we just lost someone on our boat. So
Oh, sorry to hear that.
yeah, me too.
Well, I guess on the bright side, you took down an entire conspiracy that was looking to overthrow the local business community. So there's that.
Well, I gotta look out for my people.
Sure.
What
What brings you by?
Well, I'm just planning on. I just got a couple letters I want to send to Grad Sewell, and I also wanted to like get a feel for like, and then I'm gonna get kind of hush hush with them. And I'll be like, "You happen to know where who's got the most money in this city?"
Well,
This is on the down low.
I guess the richest folk would be, I'd say, list the top 3 as Dralian, I guess Sophia, Solmore, of course, and, well, probably Ada Owland. They seem to be the big wigs. You know, Copperlocks, I mean, shit, if the rumors about the Dwarven mine are true, she's going to be rolling in it. Of course, that is the property of the throne, after all, but still, she's in charge of it. I'm sure she'll get a hefty bonus.
Where do you think I mean, if you had to guess, from your experience, where they would keep their wealth? Where would you keep your wealth, thinking about it now?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't tell you.
Well, I mean, obviously.
Yeah,
I know that.
right. But for them, I mean, it depends on what you're implying. Like, they're the mother lode of wealth, or just the fancy shit that they value the most.
I was just thinking, like, well, oh gosh, now you're talking fancy shit. You're starting to speak my language, man. You know me. How do you know me so well? Anyways, I'm thinking more something that's less traceable, like just cold hard gold.
I'll tell
There's
you
no
what.
banks around here.
I'll tell you what. My advice: steer clear of the top tier, if you know what I'm saying. There's a couple others that, if you're looking to skim a little something for yourself.
I'm thinking just like maybe like 500 gold ish. I could use just to supplement, the ship.
Sure. You don't have to justify it. I understand. Here, let me do this for you. I'll do a little information gathering for you. Come up with a couple of options for you.
Cool.
You stake me 25 gold, and I'll bring you 3 names tomorrow morning. I'll have them for you.
Deal.
You stop by, and I'll have some info for you.
Sounds like a plan.
All
25
right.
gold
Yes.
is done.
All right. So fast forward, you come back the next day. He's like,
Cool.
"All right, I got a couple names for you. There's this
Excellent.
this old feller, William Harnstead, tends to drink a little bit too much. Overheard him at the snapping line talking about his coin collection. Got a valuable coin collection that might be something to add to your coffers. Another guy, Bifrin Milt. This one's kind of interesting. He was gifted.
Milt?
Yeah, Bifrin Milt. He was gifted this golden conch shell by the chief of the Javan merfolk. This thing is pretty sweet. He has it on display in the foyer of his house. I heard a couple of folks talking about it. They'd been over there doing some woodworking in one of his lounge rooms. Sounds pretty nice. Third one is this one is my personal favorite, Lady Claudia Farnsworth. She's got how should I say, a giant diamond. Something that she inherited from her father. This thing is supposedly pretty huge, and she keeps it on a display in her bedroom. Now I've got addresses and information on all 3 of them. It depends on who you want to go after.
Bifrin Milt. Something about a golden conch shell. I don't know what it is, man. But I just have a good feeling. I'm going for it.
Smart. Well, here's his address, and he gives you directions to where the guy lives in town. And it's over by like the quartermasters of Ayuz and that weird tower.
Okay.
Down on that end of the town. I don't know if you can see the ping, but down in this area.
Yep.
Anyhow, so he tells you where he's at and gives you some pretty good intel, like what time the servants leave. The guy lives alone. He's pretty conservative. He likes to have a glass of of wine before he goes to sleep at night, etc. He gives you like a whole rundown. You get the sense that this guy is in just less than 24 hours. He pulled off this much information. You're pretty impressed.
Yep. Yeah, I can already tell I like this guy. I mean, it was good contact. I will also mention in passing, like if he can deliver notes, or if I have received any notes to him from anyone else.
I don't know how anyone would know to send me anything for you, but if you've stayed anywhere in town, the Wicker Goat, for example, or the Snapping Lion, or anything like that, or maybe even the Who Watch Tower, I don't know, or maybe the town council change, I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, yeah, I'll take that someplace else, but I really appreciate this information on Byron.
Yeah, look, I don't need to know. I don't need to know. Just do your thing. We'll just, pretend like we never had this conversation. It's all good, my friend.
Wait. What conversation?
Exactly.
And then I'll just walk off.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So you're going to go after the golden conch shell?
I am, but I'm going to meet back up with the boat guys.
Okay.
The crew guys, and I'm gonna pull a couple of them around, and I'm gonna be like, hey, I want you, two of you guys to stake out Byron, and just one of you sit at his house and just kind of stake it out a little bit, and the other one come find me when he goes drinking, and Or actually, I have an even better idea. I'm just going to grab two of them, and I'm going to bring them with me, and we're going to go get this golden conch.
All right, who are you taking with you?
I think I'm going to bring the guys that I haven't really hung out with very much yet, which is Korga and Tamist.
That's awesome.
And this is how our crew accidentally turned into a criminal ring.
Yeah. Right.
And by accidentally, I mean on purpose.
Korga, as you guys are walking, Korga's like, so is this what you'd call unofficial business?
Korga, why are you asking questions? Is this your first time doing something like this?
No, sir. Just making sure.
Excellent. You have a really simple job. Super simple. I just want you to go into his backyard and make a bunch of noise and be belligerent and help me roll a cask of wine from the boat.
Okay.
Yep, so actually I'll take one of the casks of wine out of the dock too. So we'll have to actually go back to the boat, grab a cask of wine, and roll it all the way to this guy's house.
Okay, it's going to take some time. You're rolling a cask of wine through town.
Yep.
Okay. Eventually you make your way all the way up to the top of the hill with the cask of wine, and Korga and Tamis are... Korga's not saying much, but Tamis is like, God damn this fucking job. What the fuck? What are we doing here, boss? What are we doing?
Tamis, trust me. Just keep wheeling it. We're going to wheel it up to this house. We're going to wheel it into the backyard.
Does Rhunar know about this?
Crack it open. No, he doesn't. He doesn't need to know about this. If you tell Rhunar about this, we'll have conflict.
I'm just wondering how I'm getting paid for this extracurricular activity.
Out of my pocket, it'll be tax-free, and I won't tell any of the other crew if you don't.
All right.
Then I'll talk. I'll say, okay, now we're getting somewhere. So, so once we get into this back, I'm gonna stop them. I'm gonna be like, guys, once we get here, it's a really simple job. I'm gonna have you guys wheel this barrel into the back of his house, and then I want you guys to crack it open, start drinking, and have a good time. And I want you to stay there as long as you can and make as much noise as you can, and just see how much of this wine you can drink just between the two of you. And if a guy comes out of his house and wants to join you, let him join you. And if the guard shows up, then just leave.
All right. We got it. Yeah, boss, we got this. We got this, boss.
Piece of cake. All right.
All right. They spring into action, and they roll the cask into the backyard of this guy's estate, and they hammer in a tap and start drinking.
Perfect. And I'm gonna just kind of stand across the street, watching and listening and seeing if, trying to be stealthy. So I'll stealth,
Okay.
pull my hood up, and kind of chill in the bushes.
Is the idea that you're having them create a diversion and then you're going to sneak into the house?
Yep, just pop in, pop out.
Okay. All right. So while they're doing that, I'd like you to make 3 rolls for me.
Okay.
I'd like you to make an intelligence investigation check. Okay. Second, I'd like you to make a dexterity stealth check with advantage if you're using your hood. Nice. And then third, I would like you to make a thieves' tools check. Wow. All right, so basically your plan goes off without a hitch. The guys are in the back of this guy's house causing a ruckus. You see someone inside as you're casing the front entrance. You see someone moving inside with a candle, lighting other candles, going out the back door, and you hear a shouting. He's yelling at Korga and Tamis, and they're just laughing and carrying on. And he threatens to call the town's guard, if they don't leave and all this kind of stuff. Meanwhile, you spring into action, stealthing into the abode, using your thieves' tool to crack open the front door, making your way inside, and finding on display this golden conch shell that you easily snatch up, and then backtrack your way out of the house, locking the door again on your way out so that it doesn't even look like anybody came through, and disappear into the night. And you now have a golden conch shell. 500 gold pieces is what it's worth.
Yes! Oh, I was hoping it was worth something.
And this golden conch shell we have to skip town with right now.
And then what do you do?
Well, nobody. I'll wait a little bit outside the house for Tamis and Korga to move out of the backyard. I'm assuming they're going to move when he starts calling for the guard.
Yeah.
Yep,
they
so-
eventually come out.
Yep, and as they start walking along the street, I'll just pop out of the shadows right next to them. Be walking with them.
How'd it go, boss?
Perfect. And I'll reach into my pocket and I'll take out 10 gold and give each of them 10 gold.
Hey, all right.
And you understand, nobody knows this happened.
Knows what happened.
Perfect. And how was the wine?
That's shit. But whatever, I'm drunk.
Excellent, excellent.
He just Korga just gives you this big old grin, and his mouth is just purple from the wine.
And Tamis, are you still upset?
No, I'm good, boss. I'm good.
Perfect, perfect.
You guys make your way back down to the boat, and those guys pass out in their hammocks.
Excellent. Let's see. I got one more thing I got to do. I do want to send letters to Nasir and Gorfist Hale.
Okay.
To do that, I think I'll just check with the council to see if I have any messages.
Yeah, they don't handle that kind of thing, but Ethel at the front desk makes a fantastic suggestion that you visit the Mariners Guild, since they have contacts on shipping traffic that goes to Gradzul. So she suggests that you reach out to Laszlo Yannick over at the Mariners Guild.
Perfect. Yeah, so I'll go to Laszlo.
Okay. And he receives you into his office. Byron. Welcome.
Hello, Laszlo.
Are you have you made a decision on joining the Mariners Guild?
I'm leaving all that stuff up to Rhunar. I think it's a great idea myself. But
Well, the benefits alone are fantastic.
Oh, you don't even know half the benefits. I could probably tell you some benefits you don't even know about.
Wait, what?
Yeah, love the Mariners Guild.
Roll a
guys are
persuasion
great.
check.
So glad you asked me to do that. It's not awful.
He's like, all right. Anyhow,
Listen,
yeah.
Sent
Well,
a
what
letter
brings you
with
in?
Mansell Gideon to Grad Sewell.
Okay. How long ago was that?
Oh gosh, 2, 3, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, 3 days ago, maybe.
Okay. Well, chances are he's just returning to Grad Sewell at this point. I can certainly keep an eye out for any letters that come in for you in the next week or so. There's
Perfect.
a fair amount of traffic between here and Grad Sewell. Not, we send a lot of fish up that way.
Excellent. And then, did we ever purchase a map that would get us further south, guys? And this is to everyone.
Not yet.
I would know
We
this.
asked them. They were
Kevin?
going to look around.
Okay, so I'll just touch base with them right now since I'm there already. I'll just be like, hey, did you guys happen to get a hold of any maps for us?
Yeah, I was able to track down the best I could find in just the last day, day and a half or so, was this map that shows a little bit of the region as far south as, well, south of Monmurg, down to like Port Toli, in that area.
That's an excellent starting point.
Yeah, anything farther south of that, we just don't have around here. Our ships, like I told you when you were here last time, Dralian was really the only one that was heading farther south than Monmurg. Now Monmurg, once you get in that area, you're within the hold of the Sea Princes. So you're gonna want to be careful down there.
It's all very good.
But you guys know what you're getting into. You guys are heroes of the kingdom. Should be no problem for you.
Please tell me more.
Yeah, so here's the chart. He hands you the maps. He's like, this is the best we have. It's not super detailed, but it should help.
Excellent. Can you just send an invoice to the ship, and we'll deal with this later?
Absolutely, yeah, no problem.
Cool. And then I'll just pop back to the ship and spend, some time resting and relaxing and checking out my new golden console.
Did you want to do anything with those letters that you had talked about?
Oh yes! Oh my gosh, I mentioned them twice and I totally forgot about it. I'm gonna send a letter to first one letter to Nasir Kairathi saying Albrecht Dralian's murder's been solved. We've recovered an item that we don't know how to open, which I've already mentioned in the prior letter. I know I'm sending him another letter before I even get a response.
Mm-hmm.
But just an update. And then I'll also send a second letter to Gorfist Hale, my ex-pirate, half-orc friend growing up, who owns a fishing boat in some town. I'm just going to put him in Grad Sewell as well. Basically saying, like, hey, I got my own ship. This is what's going on in my life. I know you're pretty old now, but if you wanted to join our ship, just send me a letter and leave it in Saltmarsh, and I'll find it eventually. And I think that's it.
I imagine that, Byron, some of your week you'd be helping direct any repairs or preparations that need to take place on the ship, getting it ready for whatever voyage you decide as a team to take.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll do your downtime, Irin, when we get back in 6 minutes. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Good.
All right. Sweet.
Perfect.
All right, Irin.
Coalbiter.
That's right.
So the two things I want to, I would like to accomplish. I want to seek out Clark, and train a bit with him, and I would like to craft one, possibly two new weapons for myself, which I think I can do.
What would you like to do first?
Let's start with Clark. Let's start there.
You search around for Clark, and you're able to get a lead on him. He works for the mine. I don't know if he talked about that at all during the Fight Club incident or not, but he works for the mining company, and he can be found at the mining company headquarters, which is on the western end of town, down here, number 5. And it's pretty easy to track him down. So you head down there, and you're able to find him, and he's like, Irin Coalbiter. Didn't fancy I'd be seeing you around here.
Oh. You seem to be a man who knows the ways around his fists. Perhaps we could share techniques.
Yes. Why don't you... Here's what we'll do. Meet me at the Hool Watch Tower this afternoon.
I'll be there.
All right, I'll meet you there. The day goes on, and you eventually find yourself over at the Hool Watch Tower. You see Clark walking up. He says, I've been thinking about it. It's an honor to train with you. I appreciate everything you've done for the town, and I know you did your part to also help protect the mine as well. So it's an honor, and I appreciate it. I know how things fell out during the Fight Club, but well, that was just for sport. So, anyways, what do you say we work on a little bit of hand-to-hand combat?
Begin.
We're gonna use the Fight Club rules.
Sure.
For this piece, and then I've got a little follow-up piece after this, but I think this will be fun. So we'll do 3 rounds again.
Sure.
Clark takes off his shirt, and you can just see like his dwarven muscles just taut and bulky and burly, and he's got a couple of scars on him and some tattoos. He starts stretching a little bit. He says, "We'll just go 3 rounds and just kind of get warmed up a little bit. What do you say?"
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I'll kind of limber up. Maybe, I don't know, take my shirt off as well. My body, however, is fucked up. I've been stabbed a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of scars on your body. Absolutely.
If I get any more scars, it's going to be like I'm wearing leather armor.
As you guys are stretching and limbering up, you start to notice that a small group of Townsguard start to sort of coalesce around this area where you guys are getting ready to have a little bit of a training session. Curious about what's going on and possibly interested to see a little bit of a knockabout. You see Clark kind of stretching and cracking his knuckles, and he says, "What do you say? Should we get to it then?"
Aye.
All right, so roll initiative.
Yes. You also roll shitty.
Yep, but just less shitty than you by 1 point. So Clark comes at you, and he is going to use dexterity, and he's going to roll forward. He's going to do a forward roll, and then come up and try to punch you in the chin.
Okay.
So he's going to roll a dexterity check against you can either roll a dex, acrobatics, or a strength athletics check. It's like a contested roll.
Can I offer an alternative?
Sure.
You know, in some of our more recent engagements, and then even going back to some of the things that happened kind of on our last little level up montage, I want to try to kind of channel like the power, like the forge, and being resilient, and attempt a constitution roll to just take that shit on the chin. So
are you essentially letting him hit you, but with a
like
defiant constitution?
Yeah, like if I was to be like, hey, I'm gonna play this like a kung fu movie, I would say I'm using like an iron shirt technique. But
yeah, roll constitution.
Awesome.
I like it. Oh. He cracks you across the chin, and as much as you try to just sort of like channel your fierce resilience to stop the pain or the damage, you feel it as he cracks you across the chin. And then he kind of bounces back a little bit, and he's like, You sure you're ready?
I feel like I kind of do the slide back, as he hits me, and I just kind of like crack my head to the side and work my jaw a little bit, and then just kind of like roll my shoulders. Yeah.
I love it. All right, sweet. Round 2, roll initiative.
I still rolled shitty.
Once he thinks that you're ready again, he waits to make sure, this isn't like he's trying to take you down or anything.
Right.
But he comes in, he's not playing around. That last hit, that smarted a little bit. He comes in, he kind of ducks, bobs, weaves, and he does this weird move where he like turns his body at an angle, so there's really not much for you to hit, but then he just jabs out at you right in the chest, like right in the solar plexus, just real fast jab. And I'll roll that. And then how about your response?
Since there's not a lot of optimal kind of angles, I want to try to move out of, just kind of turn my body just a little bit so he just kind of grazes, so I can kind of get into the armpit with a punch. So he just barely misses me, and I just kind of strike right there with strength. We'll say strength.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah, you crack him. Woo! And you can hear and feel bones snapping in his ribs.
Ooh.
And the townsguard that have assembled around you, the crowd is kind of growing bigger, and they're like, "Oh yeah!" And there's a couple of high fives, and now you look around, you can see that there's some gambling going on. They're actually throwing down bets and stuff. Clark kind of reels back, holding his ribs. He's like, good shot.
Give him the Jeremiah Johnson nod. Are you good?
He just kind of holds up his finger like, give me a minute, and he's takes a couple of deep breaths, and he feels around his ribs just to kind of see where they're broken. And then when he's satisfied, he works his arm around his shoulder a little bit, some little spirals. All right, here we go. And he gets ready, fists back up, he comes at you. Let's roll initiative for round 3. Yeah, you got the initiative on this one.
So yeah,
Punch him in the dick.
I don't know that I'm gonna punch Clark in the dick. Not in this setting. It's not gonna stop me from kneeing him in the face though. So, having done pretty well with grappling stuff before, I'm gonna come at him and trying to throw him off a little bit, and then try to get him in a clinch. I'm gonna go for a suplex. Ultimately, I think that'll be rad. So I'm gonna try to kind of juke in and try to get in and do a belly to belly suplex.
I love it.
I'm gonna go with dexterity on this one.
Fuck.
Oh, that was almost an 18.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
You
So
reach,
angry.
so you reach around and give him kind of like a bear hug and pull him tight against your body, and he's gonna headbutt you.
Okay. Come on. Oh, that was almost a 2.
Boom! And he just crushes you in the front of the skull, and you just the Tweety birds are circling, tweet, 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 and you let go of him, and you kind of drop down and sit down on the ground and just kind of look around, and the people are just like, oh fuck! You can see a bunch of people lost money on this bet because for whatever reason, Irin, Coalbiter, he's a local legend, and Clark reaches down a hand to pull you back up.
I take it.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, you're good. So all I could do is survive through that one.
Oof, you got a hard head, my friend.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. Hard-headed. Hey, I got a little something special for you. My friend is in town. Follow me.
All right.
He gathers his stuff up and walks over to this little area behind the Watch Tower. There's a little forested area, and as you walk up, you see this woman standing there. She's got blonde hair, very attractive. She's clad in chainmail, and she's got a mace hanging at her side. And he says, This is my friend Whimsy. She's she's like, yeah, you don't have to tell him our whole life story. Anyhow, she's a cleric, and she's got a little something that she can throw at us, and I want to show you a couple things. I've been working on some evasion moves. They're not perfected, but I thought it might be kind of interesting to test out. All right, Whimsy, I'm gonna stand over here, and you throw some of that flame my way. I'll see if you can hit me. She's like, all right. She kind of rolls her eyes a little bit at you, and he walks out about, 10, 15 feet away, and he gets down in kind of like a squat position, kind of shaking back and forth, and she casts a spell, and these flames come down from above, and he does this evasive maneuver where he rolls down onto one knee and then flips over almost like he's diving into the ground onto his back, and he lands on his feet. And he looks behind him, you can see like some of the hair on his shoulder and back is singed. And he's like, that one was close. I'm not even gonna lie, that was real close. And he says, you want to give it a try, Irin?
All right. I've had it, lass.
All right, so you get out there, and she gets ready to cast. You can see her starting to move her hands, and she's casting a spell. And I'd like you to roll a dexterity saving throw. She fires this flame at you, and it comes down in this area around you. And you flip and spin away, basically mimicking what Clark was doing, and he's clapping his hands like, damn!
Nice.
That was great! Over the course of like an hour or so, you guys practice these maneuvers, and she, you can tell she's getting really bored, but she's throwing fire at you guys to give you something to dodge out of the way of, and you work on your evasion skills, and you feel pretty good. By the end of the day, you feel like you've picked up some good tidbits from Clark.
Sweet. Thanks for training with me today.
Anytime, man. You're good. It's fun to train with somebody who's got skills.
It is.
You know where to find me.
Not using knives or swords and shit.
Yeah, right.
That stuff hurts.
Yeah. Well, you know where to find me if you wanna do any more of this in the future. You just let me know.
I do.
Aye.
Alright, well.
Be well.
You as well. I feel like we probably do the forearm clasp.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Forearm clasp and then like hand to shoulder, like, yes.
Yep, the brotherhood shake. Yep. And as you walk, as he walks away, you can see he puts his arm around this blonde-haired woman, and they walk away. What would you like to do next with the rest of your time?
I would like to do some forging.
So you're gonna head.
Yeah.
Dwarven Anvil?
I suppose it all depends on if I can get time on the forge, since I'm ultimately borrowing base equipment.
Yeah, and what you're trying to forge some hand axes?
So I think I want to do a hand axe and a mace. Which is ultimately a weapon I can use. It's a simple weapon. It's a weapon I'm proficient in. And there's actually two parts to what I want to, or two parts to some of the reasons of things that I want to do what I want to do.
All right, let's hear it.
So there's I'm not sure that I've never actually talked about it, I don't think, with any of the party, and I don't know if you've necessarily noticed it on my character sheet or looked into it, but a part of my background is essentially I grew up in a community, we could say maybe quasi-cult-like, but like a kind of a spiritual-leaning community of dwarves, beholden kind of to Muamin Duthal, who's the dwarven god of traveling. Part of his tenets is travel, adaptation, and learning to live with other races for survival of the dwarven race. So his favorite weapon, is a mace, but also his servants, his familiars, are ravens. So I want to do a hand axe. The blade is going to be like a kind of like a raven's wing, like a wing kind of shape, with like a cool raven's head as like a short kind of back spike. And then I want to do a mace, but I want to do it a little different because was kind of looking at cool mace designs and then a bunch of other things. So there's in Discord chat, I just shared like a dragon head Viking style ship prow, which I thought would be kind of dope as like the head of a mace. So those are the two things that I would like to build if I can.
With the time that you have between some of the maybe following up with training on the rolls and stuff that Clark was showing you, you have plenty of time. So a dwarf of your skill level with the forged, I mean, this will literally take you a standard set of a mace and a hand axe would take you about a day and a half of forging, but I would say that with the level of precision and detail and craftsmanship would probably take you like 2.5 to 3 days probably to do this.
Sure.
So you have plenty of time to do that. It'll cost you 5 gold pieces worth of materials.
Okay. If I can, I don't have a lot of money, and I obviously I know that Saltmarsh is a little limited, but I do have, say, 300 gold. I'm not necessarily willing to spend all of it, but if I can find some some better materials, like I don't necessarily want these things like they're not going to be like gilt and gold and jewels, but like if I can find some slightly higher quality steel, if I can find it or something, I would definitely be willing to spend money on that.
Roll an investigation check.
Sweet.
As far as the timing goes, I've just been watching a lot of Forged and Fire, and my first thought was, dude, if you have like a table of old guys yelling at you, you can get that done in 4 hours.
No shit. Alright, investigation. Average.
Yeah, you're able to find some higher end steel, probably through the Merchants Guild, or the Mariners Guild, excuse me.
Sure.
And yeah, so instead of costing you 5 gold pieces, it'll cost you 15.
Okay. And that's a piece or total?
Total.
Okay. 15.
And then you head over to the Dwarven Anvil and meet up with Mafra, and of course Safri is there. They're both super excited to see you, and Mafri is more than happy to let you work her forge.
Giggity.
As you're getting ready and stuff like that, she's like, "Tell me, Irin, do you intend to stay in Saltmarsh for a while?"
Well, ultimately, not so long.
Town like this could use a good man like you.
It does seem that way, but I think I have ultimately dealings across the water, searching for my brother, and there are things we've gotten embroiled in that who knows where it'll take us. But I think we're planning on shipping out in a week's time or so.
Well, you'll always have a home here in Saltmarsh, and you'll always have a job here at the Forge if you decide you want to come back. Safri is real curious. He's like, where are you headed? Where are you gonna go next? What was it like fighting them pirates?
Painful.
How many of them Sahuagin, those guys did you kill?
That's a lot. It was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So picture this.
Huh.
Picture being knee deep in fish guts.
Huh. Yeah, kind of like down at the fishmonger's plants.
Yep,
yeah.
Yep. It's exactly like that.
It smells like shh. Watch your language, young man.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, Mom.
Smell.
Well, enough of that talk, boys. Take your time with the forge. I could use a day or two to take some rest and work on catching up on some of the bookkeeping, so do what you need to do.
Thanks.
And then over the course of the next 2 to 2.5 days, you work the forge, and you forget about everything else around you. You forget about all the battles that you've waged, the fights that you've had, the anxiety that you've felt about your brother, the strange hallucinations that you've had of his presence in various areas around the town. All of that fades away, and you just become one with the forge, and you work this high quality steel that you were able to locate in town. And ultimately, over the course of the next 2.5 days or so, you craft some pretty fine weaponry that looks almost exactly like what you envisioned.
Nice. Awesome. I feel like, to kind of like key into like some of the imagery that we had going the last time, like almost meditative foraging. Like a few of the scars have completely healed through.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get this like sense of like the stillness of your mind that helps you to sort of do exactly what you just mentioned. Like all of a sudden there's, a couple less scars.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, you see the fire and the steel is like, becoming the same kind of color and hitting it at the right time. There's, feeling like as the heartbeat and the hammer forge kind of become the same, and the rhythms like sync, and it's just
That was perfect.
Is there anything else that you want to accomplish with whatever little bit of downtime you might have left, which is probably pretty minimal, but if there's something else you want to accomplish, it's possible.
With whatever time I have left, I'll probably spend it maybe with the guys on the boat. I don't have any skill at ship stuff, but just kind of continuing to kind of try to learn different like knot tying and moving about on the ship and getting comfortable with all the different ship skills, maybe checking out that the ballista works and kind of seeing its function. And I know it's like made out of wood, but I'm sure there's metal parts.
Oh yeah.
Figuring out how the metal parts are, so in case
it's
I
a
need
weapon
to repair it and things like that. So like I'll get familiar with that and different, whatever random shit on the ship people want to kind of teach me, and just kind of be around and be able to learn.
Okay.
And maybe someday take a feat or something to gain skill at water vehicles.
Roll an intelligence check for me.
I just heard something about you getting proficiency in skillet, and I was excited for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like
Yeah, he's gonna get a job at Denny's. So you can...
I don't think they use skillets at Denny's. It's just flat tops.
You do your best to figure out these goddamn knots.
Goddamn that! I took that headbutt. That headbutt was a little too much.
Yeah. All right, sweet. Well, with that, the week comes to an end. The four of you have taken care of some important business around town. You've followed up on some loose ends that have been lingering, and you have enhanced your skills and abilities.
And gotten a golden conch.
That you're not aware of, Theo.
Yeah, you know nothing of this.
Yeah. However, you all find yourself back on the deck of the Good Buddy towards the end of the day, and the evening is yours. What would you like to do?
I was actually going to just kind of look around and go, boys, I feel like we need to have kind of a come to Procan talk. You want to go find a quiet place for a minute?
Yeah, let's go into my quarters. And
I was thinking we should sail
sit
out
down.
into the middle of the harbor.
It's not.
It is cheaper out there.
Yep, and then on top of that, we should have a funeral for Leo Coast.
I mean,
I've already
do we
prepared a
have
bunch.
funeral out there?
Yeah, I figured we'd do a sea burial.
These are all good ideas. I'm with you on that, but I think we need to have a private talk first. So let's just go take care of that first.
Yeah, I think if any, I mean, it's late in the day. You said, right, Dave?
It's like late afternoon.
Right now, it's not a great time to move the boat. maybe in the morning we could do that for Leo.
Like a sunrise funeral.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm down.
Come on, below decks,
Right.
boys. Come on.
Let's go meet in one of our quarters.
Okay.
Do it the captain's quarters because it's
Sure.
nicer.
It's got a nice couch.
So yeah, so Theo just kind of gets everybody in there and goes, "Okay, there's a couple of elephants in the room that I've been thinking about recently, and I think we need to talk about them."
I'm gonna take out my golden conch and I'm gonna start rubbing it.
What? That was not it. That was certainly not any of the elephants in the room. What the fuck
Where-
is that?
What?
Where in the
What?
hell did that?
Oh,
You know
dude,
what?
It's conch. Isn't this cool?
You know what? No, we are not getting sidetracked here. We are staying on
Wow.
point.
Yo, is it magic?
I'll give it to you.
Can
I'll
I-
give it to you.
May
That's
I?
cool. But
Oh,
Oh
my
yeah, I'll
god.
hand him the conch.
where
This
did
is
Try-
nice craftsmanship. Wow.
And Theo just pauses and goes, "Hey, Irin, how's your brother?"
I don't know. I haven't seen him.
You have twice in the past week, because you saw him once when we were at the quartermasters, and then you saw him once at the Solmore residence, right?
That's true, Irin. I was with you.
It's fair.
Now,
Glad he
two,
was there.
second of all, hold on, we'll get back to you. Don't worry. Rhunar, how's the scribbling in your book?
Yeah, it's tormenting. That's all I can say.
Yeah, so you're being weirdly tormented and writing compulsively in a book, and Irin, you're being tormented by seeing visions of your lost brother. And you both came back from the dead without any seeming action. So,
Yeah, but it all started after that. Feels like a curse of some sort.
are we just letting that be, or do we want to look into some of those important things that might be happening?
I would love to get rid of this journal. It's driving me crazy. It keeps me up at night. You know, I don't generally share it with you guys much, but you know, this thing is driving me crazy. You know,
I feel very good,
I get some sleep, but you know, so far it hasn't been that bad, but it keeps me up at night. I'd like to get rid of this thing, but I can't. I've tried throwing it away. It keeps coming back. I've tried, we've tried other things.
Well, it's funny. I literally just talked to a nice blonde priestess the other day to help me got rid of the stone that wouldn't go away. So maybe
rid of it?
Yes, it was cursed.
Okay.
Did you want a cursed stone?
Thought
No,
gave
I
you
don't want
luck.
a cursed stone, but I'd like to get rid of this journal.
Okay, that's where I'm going with this. Because look, we don't know what the fuck happened when you guys died and came back. Not a fucking clue. Way outside of my wheelhouse. So maybe before we leave, or maybe this evening or tomorrow, we go talk to the nice cleric lady who's in town this week and see if she has any advice or can look you over and see what's going on, either of you, because Irin, you're not supposed to be being haunted by visions of your brother that badly, and Rhunar, you're not supposed to be digging in or writing in that book, and Byron, you're not supposed to be stealing so many things like that. I know it's your nature, but we're going to write it off as a curse and put that in there just for the therapy.
What did I steal?
Well,
Did you just pull that conch out of your ass?
Would you find
No,
that in the bilge?
You guys know we're like in an ocean town, right? There's a sea right there.
Okay, I'm gonna let that go then. Irin, are you okay with
Wait
this?
a minute. Are
this-
you telling me that there are crustaceans with golden shells?
Okay, no, we're losing it. We're losing it. Irin, are you okay going and talking to the nice cleric lady and seeing if you might not be cursed in a little bit of a way?
I'm okay with it. I don't know about you, Irin, but I think you should come along. I think we should go check it out.
I'll talk to her.
Okay, beautiful. Then I would like to do that for everyone's sake, because apparently there's a rumor going around that I made a deal with some sort of devil to bring you back from the dead, which I did not. But I'd like to kind of stow that away just a little bit before we head south into the sea territory of the Sea Princes.
Hey, what about that? What about those two guys
Which you guys?
that you brought back from the dead?
Wait, what? What?
Yeah, those two guys. You pulled their, like, I don't know, their spirits out of their body like they were a ragdoll. Made them
Well, it wasn't actually their spirit. Technically, it was an arcane construct. I did technically use the remaining energy of their bodies after they did. It was not their souls. Their souls have gone to rest at whatever afterlife awaits them. I mean, it's a little weird. I'll give that to you. But it was useful.
Here's the way I think
That's
about
fair,
it.
that's
It's
fair.
definitely a little weird. It gives me I kind of get the creeps.
Necromancer!
Hey, no.
If like eye contact with them, it's kind of creepy, but they're good fighters and they've been helping us.
Yeah, I'm
So
going to
I'm alright
be
with
be
it.
honest. I'm not overly comfortable with it either, but toolbox, we're working with what we have.
Fair.
So
Let's go see this cleric. What you said it was a female?
yeah, it was a nice blonde lady. She looked like she was an actual traveling priest. She had armor, mace, nice shield. I saw her up at the
Whimsy?
temple. Yeah, that was her name.
Sure.
I think it's a fake name.
Wait.
How did you meet her?
Did you say Whimsy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows Clark.
I know her.
Wait, what?
Wait,
I've
you
met
know her too.
I know her. I know Whimsy.
Biblically,
Where is she?
somewhere in town.
Irin, did you see her?
She seemed to know Clark.
And she was at the Temple of Procan when I was there. Who is Whimsy? And is she like someone who came back from the dead?
No, she was on. She was part of the team that helped me recover Dralian's box.
Oh, okay. Good. Then we know her. Great. Is she single? You know what? That doesn't matter.
She
but we should find her.
At the time, I don't know what their involvement was. I had just met them, really.
So that's me focusing on the wrong thing.
Yeah. But seriously, if she's in town, we should go see her.
Yeah, apparently she comes by every couple of weeks. Come on, let's go find a nice lady. Byron, you can come along too. You're not cursed, but I'm sure you'll have fun.
Cool.
Yeah, just don't stab anybody, Byron,
I won't stab anyone.
or steal anything.
I can make no promises.
As long as we're getting no stabbing, I'm going to take it away.
I'm not going to stab anyone, though,
I'll take it.
unless they need to be stabbed. I might stab someone, actually, so I can't make any promises.
Well, just stab people at the right time.
I'm good at that. I will brandish my rapier.
All right. Keep it in your pants, buddy.
Oh, that was the horn dog here.
All right, let's go.
All right, so where are you guys headed?
We're gonna go try to find Whimsy. Is she still at Clark's? Maybe we should head towards Clark's.
Either Clark's or the temple.
I'm gonna bring my journal.
Where is Clark's?
I don't know where he lives.
I think it's right next to H&M.
Son of a bitch.
You're fired. Done here. Yeah, but where's Clark's on the map, I guess?
Where were you when
I
you were?
mean, he works at the mining headquarters.
Where were you? Didn't you just see him?
Yeah, earlier this week I met him. I tracked him down at the mining headquarters where he works, and then we met later that afternoon out back of the watchtower.
So I guess we could either try there, or you said you saw her at the temple, right?
She literally got rid of a curse that was upon me, yes.
So I wonder, is she staying at the temple or out behind the tower?
I don't know. There's only one way to find out, I suppose.
All right, let's go. Where should we try first?
Temple? They might know more about her. They seem to recognize her coming through.
All right, let's go there.
Okay, you guys are going to head up to the temple.
I'm just gonna make sure there's a watch set.
Okay. Yeah, there's
This is still the late afternoon, right? This is before.
yeah, it's like late afternoon. The sun is just getting close to setting, but most of the crew is on board the ship right now, and
Okay.
Fritz gives you some assurances that he'll keep an eye on things.
Cool. Tell them I want them all back on the for
Yeah.
sun up.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, there'll be all hands on deck at sunrise.
Say, as we're just traveling down the dock or whatever, I'm just gonna bring up our cargo, and if we want to try to sell it here in town or somewhere else. You guys want to try to sell this off as much as we can, anyway?
Oh yeah, I took a barrel, guys.
You took a barrel of wine?
Just one.
All right.
It's only 255 pints or something like that.
Oh,
Did you get a good price for it, or is it just going to be the house wine for a while?
It's currently sitting in the backyard of what's the guy's name?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say you got
Different Milt.
a wonderful conch for it. Yes. Traded it to a mermaid.
I may have acquired it from a mermaid indirectly.
We're going to leave it at that.
Rhunar just updates his tally.
His ledger.
Okay. Yep.
Either way, it doesn't
Oh
seem
no,
like
you have a ledger of things that I've done?
No, I have a ledger of things that are on the boat.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, it's one less. Just one.
All right.
Either way, Theo says as they begin to make their way through the streets. If we sell them here, we're going to need to pick up some trade supplies for heading further south then.
Yeah, we need to, well, that's another discussion we need to have. We could move cargo. We could, sign up with the Merchant Guild, the Mariners Guild, sorry, and move some cargo. Maybe we take something down to Monmouth and see what happens.
I mean, it's south. It's bigger than this place.
But that's right into the Sea Prince's territory. Are they going to let us just trade, or are we going to have to pay a huge tariff?
Well, is there a way around their territory? It's like we don't...
I don't have a map that big.
Yeah. I feel like we might need to go further south.
Oh, we're going to need to go way further south eventually. But Monmouth is big enough, from what I recall from my years sailing the seas, that it's going to have things like more maps. It's going to have a bigger market. It's going to have a lot more, so it's the logical place one way or another. If they're going to squeeze us for gold, we'll deal with it, but there's no good way around it.
Do you think we should hold off on selling our cargo here?
That's my thought.
We could sell, up to about 15 barrels of wine here. And just a few rolls of silk. But, who knows?
How much would that make us?
$14.
I don't even have dollars on my character sheet, so...
It's what Electrum pieces are.
Electrum.
It's a currency nobody uses.
Or we could just hold on to it, we have a decent budget for the boat right now. We could just hold on to it and see if we get a better price somewhere.
Either way, if we're going to be a trading ship, we'll need to run it right into ports with trade goods, even if it's just a cover. So
I think selling off what we can now is a good idea. Just to build up some more funds. We can always pick up stuff here. I think what the best bet would be to sell what we can, get as much cargo space opened up as possible, join the Mariners Guild, and then set up a trade deal with the mine, because we already have an in with Innistrad copper blocks.
And if we roll into a town, it would be nice to be able to fly the Mariners Guild banner.
Right, and I mean, it wouldn't be helpful to the south necessarily, but it would be very helpful literally everywhere else.
Yeah. All right.
Just as a thought.
That
I
makes sense.
think it's a good idea. Maybe in the morning. If I get after the funeral, it might be a good idea to meet with the Mariners Guild and go over.
Yeah. I met them. They're probably going to pop by the ship tomorrow, too.
Oh, okay. Maybe we could do it before we leave.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea, because I know I got the maps to the south, but I didn't pay them, because I didn't have the ship funds on me.
That's all right.
have we made it to the temple yet?
You're just cresting the hill, coming up on the temple as the sun is setting.
Everything's on fire. No.
Everything
There's
seems
six
quiet
vampires
for the
flying
most
around
part. Are you guys done with your
song being played?
Are you guys done with your conversation? You head in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You head in, and the first person you see is the familiar face of Welgar Brinehanded, the head priest. Well, if it isn't Rhunar Dagon, the gang. What can I do for you, gentlemen? It's a little late in the evening.
Hello. How are you doing tonight?
Well, you
pretty good. We have some things on our mind. My friend Theo here came and saw a cleric that was staying with you. Her name was Whimsy. We were wondering if we could meet with her.
Yes, you can meet with her, although she's left town, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge at this point.
Oh, yeah, that is bad news.
She's headed to Burl, as best as I remember from what she said. She's been spending quite a bit of time up there dealing with some sort of incursions into the Dreadwood.
Is that right?
There's a lot of things happening up there right now, I guess. Of the undead nature. Luckily, none of that's spilled over this far to the south yet.
We got to go further south, guys.
All right. So, you know, she left already. You know that for sure.
That's right.
All right. Okay, well, we thank you for your time. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think we need to get the heck out of here.
When did she leave? Like yesterday or 3 days ago?
It was this morning, I think.
To Anglebert?
No,
Burl.
she's headed to
Burl.
Burl,
Burl's like
Burl.
straight inland from here.
to the
It's
north.
on our map.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
It's up the Kingfisher River. Right?
It is.
Yep, yeah, it is. It's where the Genstrim River meets the Silver Strand.
Well, the question is it that important that you catch up with her?
Feels pretty important to me. I don't know. What do you think, Irin?
I mean, I
You
don't
think
know. It wasn't my idea. I can live with this.
You think this is something you can live with for?
Till I find him.
Dave,
Yes.
hypothetically, could we sail up the Kingfisher? Or is our ship too big?
Your ship is too big.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We could probably bring a small raft, like boat up that way, though, if we wanted to.
Have you ever navigated the Kingfisher River, Rhunar?
Not personally.
Okay.
You ever paddled
like
a
that,
raft
you know, like a-
upriver?
Like a dinghy.
You
like
ever
a rowboat.
danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Yeah, that shit sucks.
I know my way around a boat, though.
Great dancer, too.
I mean, maybe it happens that we get to one of these bigger towns and we can find the sort of person that we're looking for in this whimsy.
Right.
Yeah. But we don't need... I mean, yeah. I think...
I mean,
think
you
that's
happen to know whimsy, so that's a good in, but
Yeah, I
who
mean, it
knows
would
if she
be good
can
to see
even-
her. I mean,
who knows if she can even
you know,
take care of whatever this is.
she was part of the group that got the job from Dralian. That I came on, I was working on the boat, and, you know, I kind of lucked into their quest to recover this box for...
Oh, hold on. So she was involved with the work you did for Dralian.
Yeah, she...
So she was involved with the work that is also the target of the Brotherhood, who has been randomly killing people and now has their eye on them.
Yeah, she met with Dralian, got the job, signed up for it, got on the boat. That's when I met them, is when they came on the boat. I was working security on the boat.
Do you see where I'm going with that statement that maybe she's in danger?
I mean, she might be on her way to Burl, right? I mean, and we took out the Brotherhood here in town, as far as I can tell. You think she might be in danger?
I think she should at least be made aware of that her involvement with that might be driving onto attention.
You've heard of the creature known as Hydra, correct?
That's the thing with all the heads?
Yeah, it's like you know, you cut one head off and two more grow in its place. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the Brotherhood. There's more of them out there. We just ain't found them yet.
Right.
I guess it comes down to, do we want to wage a war against this Brotherhood?
Did we just become the Avengers?
We always were. It's not a question of us waging a war against them. It's more to do with the fact that if this friend of yours is potentially in danger, above and beyond any other concerns we have, it does seem like the right thing to do to at least let her know what's going on and that she may be in danger because of it. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, would you guys at least be willing to come with to go see if she's still staying near the Hool Watchtower?
You just said she left to go to Burrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could just...
How long would it take to get to Burrow?
Have any of you been there before?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
From asking around, you estimate it would be like a 2-day travel by foot.
Oh wow.
That seems like we have things to do in the morning.
I mean, if we could acquire a wagon, perhaps, or
We've got the gold. We could just buy horses.
perhaps one of us could drive a wagon.
Are you saying you don't like horses?
I don't like horses. I don't ride horses. They're big.
Okay.
You can ride my horse here. I'll make sure you won't fall.
Okay, so here's where we are. If we're going to go after her, that's a significant detour, which, while morally correct, I'm not sure if it's what we should be doing.
Right.
What do you guys think?
Here's another... are we still standing in the middle of the temple in front of the head priest?
I feel like we probably.
No, you probably have walked back out
Okay,
onto the... Yeah.
Yeah. We're standing in his office.
You guys might not have been around, but Irin was there. Scarin, when he died, he said something that unnerved me.
What did he say? I wasn't there.
He said something about how the void would swallow the town eventually, and that we could not stop the eye. He called Dralian a fool, and said he was a useful pawn, and that they were almost like they were using him to set something in motion. So it's like he might have, I don't know, I had just cut him down. He was spewing blood. Can't imagine he was not being truthful, I guess, in the moment of his death.
So maybe I've been around Byron too much, but what if they had been feeding information to Dralian?
Or,
and maybe that's what ultimately waits into Moachan.
Well, I have the feeling that they were after whatever he was after, yeah.
Something to do with this eye, and that they were using him to... Fuck, I don't know.
Well, maybe they were waiting for him to get close and to kind of just swoop in and steal it from him. Or, maybe this contact of his in the south. What was his name? Oh, the captain.
Yeah, I have it. It's about like 90
Solana.
schools. Solana, yeah.
Who knows? Maybe this Solana was one of their operatives, one of their people. I mean, either way, to the south, it sounds like pretty dicey.
Sounds like an opportunity.
Either way, we need to go look.
Yeah.
The question is, do you think we want to ride hard enough and fast up enough to catch up with this woman in the next day or two and then come back before going?
Or do we just want to... I don't know. I have a lot of contacts in Grad Sul. If we're just trying to get you guys cured of your thing, I'm sure the Seekers would be honored to help you now, especially coming back with such great news.
That's another
in addition to that, Grad Sul's... Go ahead.
Way, if we're talking about time.
We've been in Saltmarsh, I know that in larger towns there are temples, there are clerics, there are, established places that might be able to help with I don't know, curses like this. I'm thinking now that, maybe I want to go and get this thing taken care of. But at the same time, I'm coping. I'm putting up with it. I'm not going to say I can't deal with this.
I'll just toss it out there. I am sure that Monmurg is a big enough town that they have temples.
I guess I don't know. Would I know anything about Monmurg, Dave?
Roll a history check.
All right.
Oh yeah, I guess I wouldn't know that either.
Theo's just assuming that they're sailors and therefore religious.
Yeah, you know that Monmurg is quite a large city. Approximately 15,000 people live in Monmurg, so it's quite a bit larger. It is the capital of the hold of the Sea Princes. And it was once part of the Keeland Empire until about 30 years ago when the Sea Princes took it as part of their northward expansion.
All right. Well, there's this other thing here, too. We hijacked a pirate boat, took it over, and then we're talking about sailing it into Monmurg.
Yeah, pirates get their shit stolen all the time, man.
Yeah, doesn't that make us pirates? That makes us
Technically,
pure
yeah.
pirates.
Does
And
the
who's
Mariners
to say that
Guild
anyone in
still there?
Monmurg knows who these podunk smuggler pirates were up here in Saltmarsh?
That's true.
They weren't even the bee's knees.
Like, would I have any idea, like, how organized sea pirates are? Are they kind of like a loosely...
They are a strong federation of princes that formed to fight back against oppressive governments that were trying to impose rules and laws upon open commerce. To them, they see themselves as free market
They're laissez-faire
advocates.
capitalists.
Yep. And they see especially Keeland as an imperialist nation that's trying to impose laws upon the free people of the area.
But they have spies. Like, are they?
Oh, they're
organized enough
it's
to have, like,
it's a nation.
spies and agencies and
Yep.
stuff like that.
You've fought against their forces in the Battle of Bale Keep with Tom and Will. You've fought against their armies.
I mean, that's another thing to consider is I don't have to roll in there saying who I am. They might know along the way. I'm sure they know about Saltmarsh and the things that we've done. So if we roll in there, they might recognize us.
That's us worrying about a whole lot of
maybe.
ifs
Yeah.
and maybes. We
This
gotta
Monmurg's
act.
a long ways away.
That's true. Well,
We've only been here a couple
here
weeks.
and there.
Okay, so let's start with a basic statement. One, are we riding after your friend tonight? Yes or no?
I gotta put it to
You
a
know her
vote.
more than anybody else, so
I mean, she helped Theo. She could help us. I guess I would like to go after her.
Okay, let's see if we can find a couple of some horses at this hour. I'm super sorry, Irin.
If you guys would rather go somewhere else, you tell me now.
I think, I don't think we're going to catch her tonight. What if we just left tomorrow morning? We'll be further behind, but at least then we can...
If she left this morning, if we start riding now, we will probably catch up to where she is by dawn.
Well, there's a chance. Irin, what do you think? You'd rather get going?
I mean, the Brotherhood are a real threat. If we think that they could move on her, we, at least owe it to her to let her know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
These conspiracies ain't going nowhere. So far, we don't know enough about anything else that's going on to have any real target.
It's true.
We're looking for a guy somewhere on the ocean with a map.
Right.
That can wait a day.
Yeah,
All right,
I
I'm
would think
going
so.
to go get
Yep.
some horses.
Waiting
It
horses.
feels like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys head back down into town and try to haggle for some horses.
I have land vehicles proficiency. We could also try to get a cart of some sort, right?
A cart won't be faster, will it?
No, it will not.
It'll just be
wagon.
more comfy for Irin.
Yeah, short legs.
It would be slower if we got like a wagon.
Perhaps if we had
Yes.
some chariots.
Okay. Yeah, let's just go for horses then.
Dwarves on chariots. Why have I never thought of this before?
That's actually
Yeah,
fucking
no
brilliant. I love it. I'm feeling it.
That is good.
Oh my
Wouldn't be able to
God.
reach over the wheels though.
It'd be smaller chariots for dwarves.
Where are you going to try to find horses?
In the couple of weeks we've been here, do we know anyone who would have them?
Roll a history check, Theo.
I think we could try with Fireborn.
History.
The only person that you can think of off the top of your head is Winston. At Winston's store.
Who's right around the corner.
Yep, he's just down the hill.
All right, let's go talk to
That
him.
guy's always up too. If it's getting
because he
late.
does meth. He does fantasy meth.
So you guys head down the hill and come over to Winston's store, and it's dark. Roll a perception check.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
Go for it.
And then roll a d20, Irin.
Nice.
Oh,
So
nice.
as you
I'm
approach,
not gonna lie, I did that on purpose.
as you approach the Winston store, it's dark. But Irin, you look at the porch, and suddenly you see your brother slip off the side of the porch, the southern edge of this 20-foot long deck area, and he drops down to the ground, looks at you, and then moves around the back side of the store.
That son of a bitch. And I take off.
Irin, where's he going?
Okay, Irin, and Theo chases after him, which
Yeah,
just
let's
works
go
because
after him.
monk speed.
Monk speed.
Yeah, Irin's a lot faster than the rest of you. So, Irin, what do you do when you round the corner of the back of the house?
I probably like take a sec to kind of look around to see if I can see him. I kind of call out, "Kuda, show yourself."
You hear a response. Irin, help me. Why won't you help me?
I say, Aphis, you son of a bitch.
At that point, Theo and whoever else ran after him, you come around the corner and you hear just that last little bit.
Wait, who's Aphis? Who's Aphis?
He's in a minute. Let me hang on. And I go over to the bushes and I shake the bushes.
Roll an investigation check.
Irin, what's going on? That's it. We gotta find this cleric. Case in point. Look at this guy.
There's nothing in the bushes.
There's nothing
There's
there.
nothing over there.
There's no badger.
You don't find anything in the bushes.
Juvenile badger.
But even though you don't find something, you're convinced that he's there somewhere.
Yeah. Goodness here. Aphis
Okay.
has got him somewhere.
Okay, who's Aphis? Who's Aphis? Rhunar, go inside and get us some fucking horses. Who's
He's,
Aphis?
Right, I'm gonna go knock at the door and see if he's still up.
He's a devil of some kind.
How do you know this devil?
When you have skills like mine, you draw certain attention.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
And I think he has something to do with my brother's disappearance.
Super important to know. Keep going. What is Aphis?
You know, he's like red. He's got like some horns and goat feet.
So literal
He's like
devil.
he's like a devil thing, you know.
And when did you see him?
Like last or the first time?
First one, then the other.
I mean, I guess back during my apprenticeship, you know, maybe 40 years ago.
Shit, you look so good for your age.
Yeah. And then I fought him in the darkness after the dunes.
So after the dunes, during the you were maybe dead, you fought a literal devil.
Yeah, I guess that sounds crazy, doesn't it?
No, actually, no. That is the first time that anything about this whole you coming back from the dead has made any fucking sense. So no, it's fine. It makes sense. I am with you. I am following. Doesn't necessarily explain what happened with Rhunar, but it could mean a lot of things, but that's very good to know.
Yeah. Anyway, you go get horses. I'm gonna look around out here.
I'm going to stay right here with you, and Byron and Rhunar are getting horses. They're very good at it. They are trained horse.
I feel like at some point I do the pick up Theo to look underneath him and then put him back down.
Theo just sighs, lets it happen.
Meanwhile, Rhunar, you and Byron walk up to the front door, give a knock.
Yep.
Just a minute! You hear some rummaging around. A little bit of illumination comes to the door, the window that's on the door, you can see it. And the door opens, and you see Winston standing there in his skivvies with a candle. He's like, well, Rhunar Dig, Byron Hern, what brings you here this time of night?
I'm sorry to bother you, man.
Yeah?
But we're in some serious need of some horses.
Oh, shit.
Do you have 4 horses that you could spare?
I ain't
Know
gonna...
where we could get some?
A
wheel
wheel?
barrel.
Well, long story short, no, I don't got no goddamn horses.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
Sorry, fellas, but I got a bunch of other great stuff. If you want to come on in, I could...
You know, I'll take one step in and do a perception check to see if I can find anything that's actually valuable there.
Roll a perception check.
He's got a nice book of erotic poetry sitting on the shelf.
Just love.
Better keep that for his own collection.
Yeah, you don't see anything that's worth a damn for what you're trying to do right now. But he's got a bunch of junk. You've been here before, and he's got shelves full of just trinkets and tools and all kinds of stuff piled up.
But I don't see anything worth anything.
I mean, it's all worth something, but nothing that jumps out at you.
Yeah, I think I'll be like, and I'll walk out.
Sorry, fellas. I
Go to bed.
could try to track down some horses for you. Maybe have them ready for you tomorrow, perhaps.
What time tomorrow? In the morning?
I'm gonna need more time than that. Maybe midday, afternoon,
Right.
possibly. But how many you need?
We would need 4.
Or 3 in a wheelbarrow.
You talking about the dwarf?
Yeah,
I'd get you a pony, maybe.
that might work.
All right.
It'd definitely slow us down, though.
All right, let me. What do you think, Byron? Should we just have him get it?
I say you know what? Let's do 4 horses and see if we can get a hold of a dwarven saddle.
I'll see what I can do. Like I said, come back around, midday tomorrow.
Right. Sounds good.
Unless you think there's a place we could get them tonight.
Shit, man, I don't know. There ain't no stables.
There's a finder's fee.
Okay, how much is that then?
How much would get us horses tonight? I need a price.
Well, Byron, we do have the issue of the boat.
What issues you got with the boat?
We had one of our sailors died.
Oh shit! Sorry to hear that. Which
Yeah,
one of
we're
them?
thinking, this guy, his name was Leo.
Leo Coast.
Sure,
Good
I
man.
know
Good
him.
man.
I've met
We
him.
were going to give him a burial at sea.
Yeah, seems about right. What do you need horses for? That seems like counterintuitive, don't it?
Yeah, well, we need horses to go the other way. That just came up.
Man, you guys are busy, huh?
You know it.
Well, like I said, I'll do what I can. I ain't gonna be able to find nothing for you tonight, though. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Midday tomorrow, I'll see what I can do.
All right.
That seems like the best we're gonna get.
Yeah,
I think so, fella. I think so.
that sounds good. Let's go
Winston's
ahead
got
and do
you. I'll take care of you, boys. Come back.
Yeah.
Come back at noon tomorrow.
Appreciate you, buddy. So let's go. Yeah, you know what? This is wise. We should go back to the ship because we can't ride horses with Irin. He'd fucking kill himself.
I'm just gonna flip him a gold for his effort.
Oh, Rhunar Dig. Throwing it around town, eh? Well, thanks for throwing it my way.
Yeah, well, thanks for helping us out. I know this is short notice and kind of late, but any help.
Shit, I ain't
you
even
give
got
us.
pants on.
Well,
We
that's for your
noticed.
troubles. That's for your troubles and your best effort. All right. Thanks.
There's more. You put more effort.
Yeah.
All right, I
A lot
get it.
more.
I'm reading you. I can see what you're.
lot
I can see
more.
what you're throwing down. I,
have a boat.
I catch your drift, if you know what I'm saying.
Beautiful.
All right. All right. Thanks, Winston. We'll see you tomorrow, midday.
Night, fellas.
All right. Good night.
All right, let's go. Drag Irin back to the ship. Hopefully, he doesn't kill Theo.
All right, fellas. Well, it looks like the soonest we tomorrow midday.
You
find
know,
your brother,
Win-
Irin?
No, he got away again.
Has it struck you that Winston might not be the most dependable person?
I mean, that's a possibility, but given the time of night, I'm not so sure we're gonna find something else.
Do the Watch have horses?
It's a possibility. We could always go there.
We could ask them. They might be willing to help us. I don't know.
Do you think you're in a condition to ride a horse right now? You're hallucinating.
You're hallucinating.
Look, we're all
Irin, stop being so
hallucinating.
combative.
I talk to my sword, okay? Life's like that. So,
Huh? All right.
Fuck.
I shouldn't be the voice of reason.
no, that's a very valid statement. Fine. Fuck it. We'll go back to the ship. We will get some sleep. We
We'll
will
get some
bury our friend.
Oh.
We will get some horses. We will ride after the pretty blonde woman who with magic uncursing powers. Is that a plan?
I think that sounds like a plan. Here's the thing, too, guys. Like, staying at the dock every day is costing us money. If we
Yeah,
could
why the
just-
fuck aren't we out in the harbor? I was wondering.
Yeah, we should anchor the boat out in the harbor. Maybe
let's
go
do
out
that.
a little ways, do the burial, come back, anchor in the harbor, and then in the morning, after we take care of that, we'll grab our horses and go.
Okay, let's do that.
Leave the
Now,
fellas in the harbor.
To save Wincy from the dreaded Brotherhood.
I have given myself a headache trying to be nice.
Hear the curse.
Why is this so hard? Need a drink.
So the four of you make your way back to the Good Buddy.
Yep.
And settle in for the night. And you wake up the next morning to bury your fallen crew member.
All right, so I'm gonna have it all. I have some stuff set up already. So when you guys wake up and walk out of the cabin, I'm gonna have woken up probably about 45 minutes before everyone. I'm gonna have set the claw wine out. I'm gonna have rolled another barrel of ale out. I'm gonna have some drinks ready for everyone. I know it's morning, but it's a funeral, and there's gonna be a few chairs set out.
Yeah, and I was thinking we'd go a little more towards the edge of the harbor, not like we don't want to dunk him right in the harbor.
Right? Yeah. We're gonna want to go out a little
So-
ways.
We'll go out a little ways on the boat, not so far that it gets crazy, but
So you're
All
gonna
the guys.
take the ship out.
yeah.
Before you do, Portmaster Philip Vinev comes by and to collect the fees for the last 7 days.
Jesus. Okay.
Well, gentlemen, looks like you're heading out. I'll be needing to collect the fees then.
Oh, we're not actually leaving. We just.
Well, we'll just settle up now, just to be. This is how it works.
I understand how it works, but
So he turns to Rhunar and says, "So, Captain, 7 days in port. That'll be 350 gold pieces."
look
Alright.
at Rhunar, and I'm like gonna have murderers in my eyes.
All right. Hold on.
We could have 2 burials at sea,
Fritz.
Captain.
Fritz, come down here and settle things up with the portmaster.
Aye, aye, Captain.
And I'm just gonna authorize him to pay. What did he say it was? 350.
350.
350 gold.
I'm gonna give him 350, and I'm just gonna say to him, see if you can get it down anything. If you can talk him down a little.
All right, Captain. I'll see what I can do, Captain.
And I'll give Fritz the 350.
All right, Fritz is gonna roll a persuasion check.
All right.
I'm gonna help him.
Come on, Fritz.
Just staring this guy down.
I just rolled a natural 20.
Hell
So
yeah!
he gets it down. Let's see. Oh, nice. 241 gold.
Wow.
All right.
So we paid 109.
109 gold, Cassia.
109 gold.
Tip,
Got it.
tip that man. Tip that man right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Give him 100 gold.
Fritz comes back with a big smile on his face and says, "Yeah, let's just say that I know the portmaster's daughter a little bit.
So how much did you say it cost again?
109 gold.
109 total, yeah. So we saved 241.
Yeah, Fritz just saved you a ton of money by
Yeah.
rolling
he
a
did.
natural 20.
Yeah. Oh, that was clutch, Fritz. Thanks for that.
Aye, aye,
And
Captain.
I'll give him a 10 gold tip.
Hey! Mighty.
Theo will kick in 10 gold as well for
Mighty
that.
generous, fellas. Mighty generous. Now, about that funeral.
Onward.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's go do it.
All right, so you guys shove off. The crew makes the ship ready, and you head out into the harbor.
I'm assuming he's probably wrapped up and stuff and in like a little casket or something.
Yeah, it's probably wrapped in a shroud.
So I'm going to have him like ready to be loaded onto the rope so he can be lowered down into the water. And then we can shoot fire arrows at him in a little bit. But then I'll get everyone's attention. And then I'll keep trying to get everyone's attention. And then once everyone's paying attention, I'll be like, all right, thank you all for coming. We're here today to thank and celebrate and mourn someone who is no longer with us. Leo Coast was more than just another NP character on our ship. He was our friend. And though our time together was brief, he was there in our time of need. We all have him to thank for our futures this day and any still to come. He fought valiantly in defense of our ship, our crew, and our very livelihoods. He fought with passion to defend each and every one of us, and he fought for our very future. And though he is gone, we owe him every moment onward. He will never be forgotten. So this one is to you, Leo Coast, once and always, a good buddy. And then I'm going to hit the full barrel of claw wine with my rapier as hard as I can to crack it open on the deck.
With a rapier?
Yeah. Not the brightest.
Let it happen.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Tickle the wine out?
I like the good buddy part. That was great.
Yeah,
Nice.
you look
Nice
around,
turn.
Byron, and your speech has really impacted the rest of the crew. Some of the guys are kind of choking back tears. Maybe a couple of them were closer to Leo Coast than they let on, and so it really hits home, and it also raises the morale. Just the amount of empathy that you show for one of these guys that has become part of your family raises the morale of the crew by 1 point as well.
Ooh, we have a morale stat?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm just going to say, huzzah! Raise my drink.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, people who wanted claw wine could have gotten some from his barrel before I broke it open.
Certainly didn't want it.
Yep, I figured for any of the other crew members that may have
Oh yeah,
wanted
some
a
of them
glass,
definitely got into it.
but the rest of it's sitting on our deck, smelling awful.
It's kind of like a thick, chowdery beverage.
Yep.
You can see the gulls circling up above.
Don't worry about it.
We're having gull loaf.
For days.
Seagull loaf's on the menu tonight, boys.
So then I'll lower his body into the water, and then I'll pass out arrows, and we'll take turns shooting fire arrows at it.
Is it on like a little wooden raft or something?
I think it's on one of our like our rowboat.
Well, we don't want to sacrifice our rowboat.
I already
Too
did.
late, he's done it.
That's our
Done
dinghy,
it.
man.
It's
That's like
been
our
done.
taxi right now.
We'll get a new one.
No. We're
Yeah,
not
I'll put it
gonna-
in order with the
we're gonna get our
Carpenter's
taxi
Guild.
now.
Oh my
We
god!
got one of those.
Did you really just send off your
No,
your
we're not
dinghy?
doing that. We're not doing that. That's our
We
okay.
could-
If,
We could put
Listen,
him in an
this
empty
is how
barrel.
boats. When you anchor in a bay, you use your dinghy to get from your boat to the shore. That's how
Oh,
you
yeah.
get back.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to
everywhere you're
swim
going.
otherwise.
Yeah,
Yep. We don't have a big enough boat to have more than one dinghy.
I think
Oh,
as a
shoot. Okay.
maybe as a carpenter, you could like nail together a few, 2x4s?
Yeah, I'll
into,
craft.
a little.
Yeah, a little
craft
raft. A little raft.
Yeah.
A little
It
Huckfin
doesn't need to
raft.
be great. It doesn't
Yeah.
need to be great.
So
Doesn't
everybody,
need to
anybody
keep
who's
them
gonna
afloat.
anybody who's gonna fire a flaming arrow at the raft, go ahead and roll a attack with a bow if you have a bow handy. If not, you can use a light crossbow.
I'll fire a flaming ballista bolt.
Byron, your shot misses.
Oh,
Rhunar, your shot hit. The flame starts to grow. Is anybody else taking a shot?
Nope.
Theo, your shot
Theo
misses.
does not hit.
And Irin's shot misses.
All right, I'll just kind of frown at the
Plus,
fellows. and
plus,
take one.
plus another 3.
Yep, misses.
Okay.
Who were the two guys that you were training again, Rhunar? It was Fritz and
That other fucking guy.
yeah, they're gonna fire. First Fritz. He misses.
Jeez, this thing is hard to hit.
And the other guy misses too, but you
What if
hit
you
it.
bury this guy in fucking chainmail?
All right, I'm gonna shake my head at these guys and see if I can hit time.
All right.
Was that right?
taking a second shot.
Yeah, you can take a second shot if you want.
Here we go.
That one
Like
misses. It's getting harder to hit because it's floating away.
Have you guys seen the
Well, I hit
show
it once.
Norsemen?
Yes, it's super funny.
That one hits.
Oh,
Byron.
there we go,
Yeah,
Byron.
that hits.
My hands are
Sneak
cold. It's
attack.
hard to pull the bow.
Fritz is going to take one more shot. He hits it.
Hey,
And
Nice.
that other fucking guy's going to take one more shot. And he misses.
3
I'm
hits
just
should be
gonna-
enough to set it on fire.
Oh yeah, it's burning.
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw a wine bottle at it.
I don't know what that's gonna do except waste.
It just splashes in the water.
Damn it.
Byron, you now have a point of inspiration for that speech.
That was really well done
So
for the record.
mark that on your character sheet for the future use. With Leo Coast having been laid to rest on a flaming barge in the bay of the Kingfisher River, the rest of you turn towards the adventures ahead and a unexpected detour to the north towards Burl in pursuit of Whimsy, a cleric that has not been mentioned since season 1.
I feel bad for the poor dungeon master here because, like, okay, I've got these people on track. They're ready to go. They're gonna set sail. Whoop, detour.
Yeah, well, that's my own fault for introducing her back into the narrative. But
Curing all the curses around.
I was
town.
trying to get us to anywhere on our boat. Anywhere. I didn't
I'm
even
gonna-
care. I was like, grad
I'm
school.
gonna be honest. I blame Theo.
yeah.
I do too.
Oh, it's entirely fucking
I don't.
He's
I'm
the one who
not
connected
blaming Theo
dots.
at all.
He connected too many dots.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming Theo at all right now, personally.
He's the one who was like, well, what if she's getting attacked by the Brotherhood?
Mm-hmm.
I would never have thought that until until you said that.
Well, it looks like our voyage to the south will have to wait because we've got some adventures to the north to take care of.
What's a day or two? I mean, really.
Yeah, right.
There's
but-
no chance we'll run into a swamp hydra and have to fight our way through a complex of ever increasingly complicated traps in their lair.
What?
It's a great
I
idea.
do feel obligated to tell everyone my character is afraid of the undead. So
Ay.
your 3v,
I mean, that
however
doesn't
many
change
guys.
a whole lot from before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, I was afraid of the undead before too, and so that's why I was like throwing fire potions at a bunch of skeletons in a closet, telling a ghost thing that it can't float next to me.
Well, we're gonna find out what happens next week. Great session, guys. That was
Hell yeah.
that was some great RP.